And we want to take these rocks like this, and we want to go in and mine them for diamonds, for gems, for the things that really matter that we can use to move forward in our life in a motivational way, in a way that fulfills us, in a way that makes a difference in this world. Hi, I'm Andy Robb, and I'm the author of the book, The Encore Curve, and the creator of the Encore Curve Life Plan Workshop. Thanks for joining me today. Our workshop and our book are changing lives all over the country as retirees realize that retirement is not just a time to relax and kind of fade away from life, but it's a time to repurpose and re-energize their lives and learn how to use the wisdom and the experience that they've developed all the years to make big impacts in new areas. Now, I know it's a little bit frightening maybe to invest in a program that you don't know much about. But I want to assure you that if you join our workshop program, you're investing in yourself. And to help you do that, we've created a little sample of our regular workshop, and I hope you'll look at it, enjoy it, maybe get something out of the sample exercise, and then come back and join us in our regular workshop. Thanks for joining me today. What we want to do here is look at some of our experiences from our past. Remember, past is prologue. We want to take some of these rocks and we want to mine them for some of the gems that we can get out. I remember the movie City Slickers. Billy Crystal's riding along with two of his buddies and they're herding cattle. And they start talking about the worst day and the best day. And Billy Crystal asks one of his buddies, what was the worst day of your life? And his friend described this day that was just awful when he was a kid. And they go, oh man, that's terrible. Then Billy Crystal said, well, what was the best day? And his friend looked at him and says, you know, I think it was the same day because of what I learned from it and because of the outcomes. We all have that. Isn't that just kind of the way life is, that our worst days can become our best days, and in some cases our best days can become our worst days. So that's the kind of an exercise that we want to look at, because we can have a do-over. Remember I said earlier, gosh, if I only knew then what I know now. So here's your chance to go through this. If you'll permit me, I want to tell you a story about a red rock in my life. When I was in junior high school, I was a very good golfer. I was a scratch golfer. And in the 9th grade, I was on the varsity golf team. And we were getting ready to go out and have a little in-team tournament, if you will, to determine who were going to be the 4 players that would go to the state tournament. And I went out, and I can still remember I actually parred every hole. I still remember what it felt like to hit those shots vividly, and it's been a long time ago. The sad thing is, my coach didn't believe me because I played with my best friend, and he simply didn't believe that I had qualified number 1 on the team because I was a freshman. No freshman can do that. The really hurtful part was that my parents didn't stand up for me. They didn't believe me either, or either that or they just simply didn't stand up for me. It was a huge red rock in my life. And as I look back over that and relate it to my wife and some of these other things, one of the things that I realized was that it was an impetus for me to always stand up for my kids. And it was a way that I took something that was just really hurtful in my life and turned it into one of those little gems that I could move forward with, because I always remember that feeling. And I know that you have events in your life where you remember that feeling, whether it's joy or whether it's sadness. Those feelings remain with us. So we want to drag those out now into the light of day and make sure that we can turn those rocks into these kinds of diamonds. So the first exercise we're going to do, you'll find on a sheet called the Wisdom Worksheet. So we're going to do this in phases. So I want you to write down in your life what's worked. We all have stuff that's worked, stuff that hasn't worked. So in your life, What are 3 or 4 of the things that have really worked well, the big successes that you carry around in that backpack? Write those down. I want you to go over to the right, and I want you to tell me or tell yourself, why do you consider those things to be successful? So as you do that, then we'll go take a break, and then we'll get back and figure out how can we take these things in our past, and redefine them to move us into the future.